Hello and welcome. My name is Amir, and in this video we're continuing our journey in the Codewars website. We are on level 7 for now, and let's write some code. Okay, so I will probably go with 3 or 4. The first one is this one. String ends with something. So it says that complete the solution so that it returns true if the first argument passed in ends with the second argument. So it means that like BC is the end of the ABC, and in this turn it's false. Okay, this should be pretty easy, so I would go here, then make it a little bit bigger, and the only thing that we need to say is that if the first string ends with the second string, and that's it. It's a function on strings that checks that this value is the end of this one. Okay, so let's go and attempt it. Yeah, we passed. Awesome. So submit, and let's go to the next one. The next one, valid parentheses. Okay, this should be fun. Write a function that takes a string of parentheses and determines if the order of the parentheses is valid. The function should return true if the string is valid and false if it's invalid. So this is true. This is false because it's starting with a closing parenthesis, and I don't care about the rest. So when it starts with this one, it is false. This is also false because it has started but it's not ending. And this is true because it has started with a parenthesis, and nowhere in the string the number of these parentheses is more than the number of opening parentheses. So the thing that we need to check is that as we start from the left to the right, check that the number of closing parentheses is always less than or equal the number of opening parentheses. In that case, we are fine. Otherwise, it's not correct. Okay, so let's go and train it. Grab this, go here. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So I will have a variable for the number of the parentheses. So I will call it like num, and it's in the beginning 0. Then for each letter in the parent string, I would check that. If it's a opening parenthesis, I will add 1 to the number, and if it's a closing parenthesis, I will subtract 1 from the number, and check if the number at any time gets below 0 or not. So I would say that if at index I is this, then add 1 to the num. The same thing if this, then num minus 1, and after these are done, check the number. If it's less than 0, then it's a invalid string and we can return false. And when the for loop is done, we can check against the number. So if the number is 0, then it's okay. But if it's bigger than 0 or less than 0, then we have 1 extra parenthesis or more than 1 extra parenthesis. So I can say that check the number is 0 or not. So if it's 0, return true, otherwise return false. And paste it here and attempt. Awesome. So this one is solved as well. Let's go to the next one. Last digit of a number. Let me open it like this in a new tab. Your job is to implement a function which returns the last digit or the digits of an integer n as a list. If d is bigger than the number of the digits, returns all the digits, and if d is less than 0, return an empty list. Okay, so let's go and train this one as well. Come here, paste it. So I can say that I need to convert the number to a string. So I can say n plus this will be converted to a string, and then split it by empty string so that it becomes an array of letters, and then slice it from d to the end, which is like minus d, and then map the values back to number. So we should return this, which will work for this one, of course, because the split will return the whole string if that d is like bigger than the string length. This is covered, and if d is less than 0, we'll need to return an empty string. So if I go back here and say that if d is less than 0, then return an empty array, otherwise return this. So I can make it like this, and it should be fine. Copy this one, paste it here, attempt. I need an equal sign here as well. Yeah, okay. So this is done. Let's submit it. And cool. Okay, the last one, because like this one was very small, so I can do like 4 times now. Alphabet var. There is a var and nobody knows the alphabet var task. Write a function that accepts fight, which is probably a string. Yeah, consists of only small letters, and return who wins the fight. When the left side wins, return left side wins. When the right wins, return this. In other case, returns this. The left side letters and their power. So if they have W, it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then the right is this one. And if it's a Z, so the right will get 1 point, the left has 0 point, and the right wins. Okay, so this shall be fun also. Let's go here. Grab this part, back here, paste. Okay, so I will do it like this. For the right, I will have an object with the values. So for the right is mqdz. So m is 4, q, d, and z. It's like 3 and 2 and 1. The same for the left. WPBS, W, P, B, and S. Okay, I will have a points as well here, starting from in 0, and then for the letter that we get from this fight, I will calculate. So fight, then I will split it to become an array of the letters, and then for each of those letters I would say that if that letter is in right, so if right of P, right of L exists, then add like this amount to the points. So for right we would say add, and for left we would say subtract. The same thing for the left, but only this time we are subtracting. So when this for each loop is done, if the value of P is negative, then left wins, otherwise the right wins. So I can say that if like P is greater than 0, then return this. If it's less than 0, then return this. And if it's still 0, then return this. Let me have it like this. And yeah, so this should be okay. Let me copy it. Come here, paste, and attempt. Yep, we have passed this one as well. So let's see where we stand now. Cool. We're almost halfway from level 6. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we will continue our journey towards level 6.